It's nice to see they put the fountains on here at Dundas Square. And hey there, long time no see. Today is Friday, May 2nd. It is 5:17 p.m. and the temperature is a very nice 21 degrees Celsius. And that is the intersection of Yonge and Dundas, just off in the distance. And Eaton Center across the street. And this is the first video I have recorded in the city in over 2.5 weeks. I'm still very much jet lagged. In fact, this is just the second time I've left my apartment since coming home 2.5 days ago. I guess about 2 days ago exactly. Here's a look north up Yonge Street. But for this one, not really sure where we're headed. Maybe I'll go down to Richmond and Adelaide and head west for a little bit. I just wanted to get out and get some steps in. And if I'm up to it, I might live stream after. And I'll talk a little bit about the trip and why I went on it, as well as some of the challenges that walktubers are facing on YouTube these days. So I might be a little bit all over the place commentary-wise. As we go south down the east side of Yonge Street, as a new facade is going in, replacing the old Nordstrom facade. It will soon be occupied by a Simon's and an Italy. Yesterday, I got in a whopping 997 steps. I think that's the lowest I've taken in a very long time, perhaps even in my entire adult life.
Exotic car dealership, so it does like windshield and stuff like that.
I just felt particularly lazy and I ordered Uber Eats. There's a claw machine arcade. I got to see a lot of those in Tokyo. So it seems I've come back to some really nice weather. Apparently the cherry blossoms have started to bloom, so I'll have to go check those out pretty soon. I think they're supposed to peak around May 8th. So some people have been asking, why did I go back to Tokyo so soon? I was just there last fall. Well, those weren't my original plans. Initially, I had some plans with friends to go to Las Vegas this spring. After a certain orange person took office down south, it became clear that none of us had any desire to travel to the States or spend money there. So those plans were called off, and I found myself in a bit of a predicament. I wanted to go away, but my passport expires in November, and for a lot of places you need at least 6 months left on your passport, so I'd either have to apply for a new one and get that soon and then make plans, or just pull the trigger and make plans right away. And I knew a couple of people that really wanted to go to Tokyo. And I said, sure, I'll go. I'm not going to say no to going to one of my favorite cities on earth, even though I was just there. But I wanted to go to either Bali or Phuket, as it's been quite a while since I've been to either of those places. So I was able to string everything together and pull the trigger on getting plane tickets. So that's sort of how that all unfolded. And if you're wondering, you do need at least 6 months on your passport to go to the States, but Canadians are exempt from that, at least for now. I just wanted to avoid that entire situation, so I will not be going to the US anytime soon, not this year, and most likely not for the next several years, if ever at all. And I've avoided connecting through US airports like the plague, sometimes spending more on flights connecting internationally. So nothing's really changed there. And this is Queen Street coming up. So after a full week in Tokyo, it was off to Bangkok for a few days. It's a bit of an extended layover. And I was off to Phuket. And it was back for one more night in Bangkok, and then I flew Toronto to Vancouver, or rather, Bangkok to Vancouver. A short layover, and it was back to Toronto. It was kind of cool. One of the flight attendants recognized me on that flight. I was also recognized a few times in Phuket. While there, I met Alex and Sign. I posted a video with them on the channel this morning. You can check that out and check out the links to their channels. It was pretty cool to meet them and get to hang out after we recorded some videos. I did not make as much content on this trip as I normally do. I didn't live stream as much. Alright, this is Richmond Street. We want to go west here. Well, maybe we'll keep going to Adelaide. At least through the financial district. Richmond isn't all that interesting. Might be cool to see some streetcars going by on it, which none appear to be coming. I've still got a few videos to post from the trip. I've got a beach walk,
like form making,
a few night walks, and a couple of hotel videos. Hey, a Kinton Ramen Express. That must be less of a sit-down restaurant, more of a takeout-oriented location.
Yeah, I told you I'm number friend. Somewhere else.
There's a look along Temperance Street. Alright, let's get off Yonge and go west for a little bit on Adelaide. one of the things I really like getting away and traveling for is that feeling of coming back and kind of being a bit rejuvenated. To revisit the streets of Toronto. I've been doing this for quite a while, and I've been full-time since fall of 2000 doing mostly Toronto-based walking videos. And that's putting me around the 5-year mark pretty soon. If I look back at my working history, going to my first office job and pretty much right out of university, I haven't stayed in one place for more than 5 years. I worked for TD for 5 years, and then I changed companies. I went up to North York for a year, then I went to Korea for 5.5, although I was only working for 5 of those. I came back and I had a few different jobs. The longest one I held was about 5 years here. So I kind of question if I'm hitting that wall with YouTube where I'm going to want to change it up. Look at this. But getting to go away and come back kind of hits the reset button. I don't see any plaque. Oh, there's one. Explaining what the heck this thing is. You can press pause and read that. I'm going to look up at one of my favorite skyscrapers in the city, Scotia Plaza. This is the Bay Adelaide Centre, well known for being the setting of the TV show Suits, and Bay Street coming up. But kind of related to the whole, am I getting tired of doing this? I don't think so. I kind of enjoy being my own boss, so to speak, not having to apply for vacation time. There's someone strutting in front of their child. They've got their camera set up, striking a few poses. Alright, I was debating crossing here and going along Temperance, but traffic isn't on our side. We'll head back down to Adelaide. But I have been in touch with other walktubers, a few with channels larger than mine, and we're all kind of experiencing the same thing right now. So it appears to be a large group of students. And that is a sizable dip in views. Wait for the lights to change. Maybe we'll go to the other side. Okay. So views are down, and the ad rates are quite low right now. think that has a lot to do with the uncertainty caused by the orange man down south. I think companies are being a bit hesitant with their advertising budgets. As we look up at what will soon lose its title as tallest building in the city, First Canadian Place, with the tip of the CN Tower looming in the background. There's the Cactus Club. I think there's a number of reasons why views are down, one of them being the algorithm can be fickle and kind of promote different genres differently, almost at random, so this might just be a bit of a downturn. There's also a shift towards short form, kind of short attention span, ADHD driven content via YouTube Shorts, as well as competing platforms like TikTok and Instagram Reels. Another factor is there's a saturation of walking channels. Every day it seems as if dozens of new ones pop up. You could probably count well over 100 that have at least put up some videos in Toronto alone. There goes a Queen streetcar. Pretty quiet in the financial district. I guess Friday afternoons have always been a quieter time than usual. The whole work from home thing becoming more prevalent throughout the pandemic. There's going to be even less people. Just to put it into perspective, normally over a 48-hour period, this channel sits at around 30 to 45,000 views.
Thanks, sir.
Sorry. But as of right now, it's at 22,000 views. I've been a little lazy not live streaming as much, and some of my recent content hasn't been getting the views it normally would, so that's something I can correct myself to some degree, but there's no denying views are definitely down for me and a lot of others. As we get to York Street, well, there's a lot of emergency vehicles and flashing lights down south. Speaking of which, I think this weekend is the Toronto Marathon. There'll be a lot of diversions and road closures. If I think about it, I don't think views have ever been this low since I've gone full time on this particular channel. Fortunately, we've got a great community. There's a very large amount of channel members and Patreon supporters. And even with these low views, things are still pretty good. I certainly would rather be where I am now than where I was in that office tower up over 50 floors about 6 years ago. So I'm just going to kind of put my head down and plow through. As we get to University Avenue, and there is the Shangri-La. Once I cross University, we'll be in the financial district. I think walktubing as a genre is dying? No? I think there's always going to be a pretty strong audience for this sort of thing. It just might not be as strong as it once was. In terms of what's next for this channel, I think there's going to be a whole lot more of the same. I mean, this formula has worked all along, and we have seen downturns in ad rates and views before. There's a period during the pandemic where ad rates were like half of what they are now. After being in Tokyo and Bangkok, these streets feel pretty dead. It's certainly going to be a lot livelier a bit later tonight. But to be honest, I'm not sure I have the energy to stay up. Been kind of dozing off and passing out for long periods of time over the past few days. Usually the jet lag is so much worse coming back than going there. I think there's an element of being excited when you first land abroad. It just feels like there's not as much to look forward to going the other way. And you're kind of beat up after already doing a big time change. Oh my, it's windy. This is Duncan Street coming up. Just debating if I'm going to figure out some food or if I should live stream. In terms of what's next for the channel, yeah, more of the same, but I will be making an effort to do some more out of the box style content. I did kind of a day in the life of vlog that was well received a few months ago. I've got some other ideas, some along those lines, some quite different that I could tackle. Let's see, a hockey net and balloons just up ahead. Let's go see what that's all about. Once upon a time, on a Friday after work, this place would be rockin'. That's where Crocodile Rock used to be. Soon to be a hotel and residences. Next week, I guess I'm going to apply for a new passport, and I'll start looking for the next destination probably around the end of summer. I'm going to be here in the city for a while, and I'll probably go away once more around November, early December, and rinse and repeat next year. Again, those vacation breaks or more like workcations. Give me a much needed reset. There's a lot of patios here on John Street. Let's go north here. I'm super jealous of all these people. Love to be on a patio right now, having a cold one and some good food. Maybe what we'll do is we'll just continue north up to Grange Park.
We're 2 minutes away. We see the door.
And from there I can think about starting a live stream. There's Marshall's, that was once a Circa nightclub. Before that, a Palladium. Runway 6, that used to be a Milestones, but Milestones popped up in the Eaton Center. Speaking of used to be, it used to be the Jack Astor's. That Michael's used to be a Chapters once upon a time. Ballroom. Get some bowling in. And it's Richmond Street. A lot of people getting gelato. As we arrive at Queen Street. That moved into where a Starbucks used to be. It's across the street because why the heck not? There's one of those gelato spots in Midtown near where I live. Imagine it's lined up right now. I've been there once. It's pretty good, I guess. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on anything I've discussed in this video down below. So do leave a comment with your thoughts if you feel so inclined to do so.
Especially on fucking June, like it is really
It's probably going to be a few more days before
Taste this diet.
I kind of wake up and snap out of this. At least I didn't bring COVID back this time. At least I don't think I did. Just a few blocks away from Grange Park.
sell something on
What a gorgeous day, though. One I certainly overdressed for a little bit. Kinda wish I didn't wear the heavier hoodie. There goes my microphone. At least one of them. That could end up being the microphone I use for this. I generally record 3 audio tracks. I've got very good reasons for that. Sometimes something goes wrong or a microphone will be too close to a zipper flapping up and down and you'll hear that sound the whole stream. Sometimes they just fail to record, or more often than not, user error kicks in. Like the internal recording runs out of space, or there's not enough battery life, or I mess it up one way or the other. What a great sight this is. One of the great urban parks here in the city. So there's still going to be some trip videos coming up, but I'll start to mix in a healthy dose of Toronto between now and then. I hope you enjoyed it. Do let me know your thoughts and comments down below. If you wish to support what I do on YouTube, there's links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership down in the description. I've got an Instagram account at Johnny Strides, and there is a super thanks button for you down below if you wish to say thanks that way. Anywho, thanks for gritting it out with me on this one. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Yoink.